Find the sum of these decimals using mental math. Mental math is a great skill to have, especially if you find yourself without a calculator or paper and pencil. It can also be a pretty quick way to find the answer to some problems. So let's go ahead and see how we can use mental math for this problem. Let's look at our problem by rewriting it. We have 2 3/10 plus 5 4/10 plus 9 7/10. We're adding together 3 decimals. A little tricky, but we can handle it. Taking a look, each of these goes out to the tenths place. Now, how do we add these together mentally? Well, let's think about adding tenths together. Say we have 6/10, and we add 4/10 to that. Well, adding those together, we get the whole number of 1. So, if we can add the decimal part of some of these numbers together and get whole numbers, we would eliminate some decimals, and then make things a little bit easier to work with. So let's take a look. Here, we have 3/10 on the end. With this number, we have 4/10 on the end, and with this number, we have 7/10 on the end. You know, if we take 3 plus 7, we get 10. If we take the decimal 0.3 plus 0.7, so 3/10 plus 7/10, we get the whole number of 1. So we could add the decimal part of 2 3/10 and 9 7/10 together, and we would get rid of the decimal there. But these numbers aren't next to one another. Luckily, if we look, we're adding all the way through this problem. So that means we can use the commutative property of addition to go ahead and rearrange these numbers. We can reorder them without changing our final answer. So we can go ahead and put 9 7/10 right next to 2 3/10, just like this. Here, we will get the exact same answer as we would adding this together. So now we have 2 3/10 next to 9 7/10. Let's go ahead and add those two numbers together. So let's add the decimal parts and the whole numbers and then bring it together. Well, each of the decimal parts, we have 3/10 and 7/10. 3/10 plus 7/10 equals 1. Now we add the whole number parts, 2 and 9. 2 plus 9 is 11. So we need to take 11 and add this 1 to it that we got from adding the decimal part. Well, that gives us 12. So 2 3/10 plus 9 7/10 is equal to 12. Cool. So now we have 12 plus 5 4/10. Well, we can go ahead and add that together mentally as well. So let's see. Here, if we go to add the decimal parts, 12 does not have a decimal part. So we just bring down the decimal part of 5 4/10, the 4/10. Then we add the whole number part. 12 plus 5 is 17. So we get an answer of 17 4/10. This is the sum of the 3 decimals we started with. And we solved using mental math. First, we rearranged by putting 2 3/10 and 9 7/10 next to one another. Then we added those together to get 12. And we added 5 4/10 to it to get 17 4/10. If we use a calculator, we'll get the same answer. Or if we set this up using vertical addition, we also get the same answer. So now we have used mental math to find the sum of these decimals.